The Lilith Fair was far more subversive and satanic than anything that I could have done, because here you have people playing this very innocuous folk music that's providing America with a lot of very dangerous ideas about women's sexuality, and I think a lot of Christians would be very upset if they knew.
All the women there were just so cool, and it was fun. It was summertime, but I got really sick of the women in rock questions.
I love festivals with a passion. I love that thing of no sound check on. There you go. There they are.
Did a small run on the Ozfest, and I think you're more likely to find me in a church than to go on another metal tour, because those fans at some points were more closed-minded than the Christians were. I got hit with a lot of bottles of urine.
Ready?
Well, now say, you say,
At first glance, 1997 seemed like any other year in tours.
let's go crazy!
But there was something different, something unusual in the air.
Molly Crow is the
Well, enough said.
The stage set that's undertaking, I got to be the biggest stage set in the history of stage sets, or?
It's beyond the last one. I've got to say that either it'll be fantastic or we'll die in the attempt.
We came to rock for everybody like this.
The Stones found success by keeping with their bigger is better formula, while U2 earned less than rave reviews for their current venture into pop culture gluttony. But the story of the year belonged to Package Tours, which boasted some of the more eclectic rosters of recent years and catered to everyone from classic rockers to hip-hoppers to hippies to hippie haters to skate punks and anyone in between.
I'm a grandma. I'm 66 years old and I never want to grow up.
However, the only two packages to grab significant attention also provided the year's most conflicting images, from the lineups to their fans.
Is it too much to ask? Go on a comfortable bed. Don't hurt my bad head.
Ozzy Osbourne continued his 30-year conquest to rile up audiences with his testosterone-heavy Ozfest, highlighted by some of rock's newest noisemakers and a still-ticking Black Sabbath.
I just got this incredible love for my audience, and they've got an incredible love for what I do and what I try and be.
Younger, softer, and a bit more polite was the all-female Lilith Fair tour.
One of the objectives of this tour was to try and create a sense of community for women in the industry, you know, and defy some of those myths of, you know, you can't put two women on the same bill, you can't play two women back to back on the radio. Well, why? Those are ridiculous rules that don't apply anymore.
Wow. Hey, you don't see that at a Pearl Jam show, do you?
1980, 97, also saw its share of reunions.
I used to look to my left, and I would fart. I look to my right, I'd be kind of happy. Now I look to my left, I look to my right. Both of my breasts grow big.
Rounding out this year of the unexpected was the highly successful pairing of rock and rap extremes, Rage Against the Machine and the Wu-Tang Clan.
This is a very unlikely tour package to be playing in venues this size. You've got Wu-Tang Clan, the most raw hip-hop group, and then Rage Against the Machine, whose politics make Ralph Nader look like Genghis Khan.
It's all about unifying everything, you know? You know, you got white, you got black, you know what I'm saying? It's all good.
Unfortunately for fans, Wu-Tang exited the tour abruptly following a well-publicized run-in with the law and repeated difficulties with keeping all 9 members of the group in one place at one time. But no other controversy this year, not even Ozzy's riot-inciting laryngitis, shook the establishment like rock's newest stormtrooper, Marilyn Manson.
We will no longer be oppressed by the fascism of Christianity.
But fighting that fascism with a shock rock show and a free-thought message hardly made it an easy road for Marilyn Manson. In town after town, the forces of the right tried, with varying degrees of success, to shut the band down. In Oklahoma, even the governor got involved.
It's important for us to say, we're not going to shut you down by law, we're not going to shut you down by the writ of the censor, we're going to shut you down because what you propose is not uplifting.
If it weren't for people like me that stood up for things like freedom of speech, people like him wouldn't be allowed to voice his stupid opinion in the first place.
Helping to mobilize much of this self-righteous opposition was the American Family Association, which used the internet to distribute wild, unsubstantiated rumors about Manson concerts.
And I think people like that really will reap what they sow, and if there is a hell, I'll see them there. Here's a group that sits around and creates all these stories about me having sex with minors and killing animals and things of this nature. But it's these sick ideas they've developed in their own heads, you know. I haven't told them these things. So who's really the sick person?
Along with shaking his tail at the Video Music Awards, feathers were ruffled elsewhere. Manson was sued by former guitarist Daisy Berkowitz for breach of contract. And while the band worked on several soundtracks, one, a collaboration with the Sneaker Pimps for Spawn, went sour when the Brits slammed the track.
They're so talentless.
I wouldn't waste my time having hard feelings, you know. I've already forgotten their names, so.
Manson's status as a cultural lightning rod was confirmed at a Senate subcommittee hearing in November when a North Dakota father testified the band's music drove his teenage son to commit suicide.
From what my family has experienced, this music is a cancer on our society.
Did you have any idea that you would cause the level of commotion that you did?
Well, I had hopes that I would get a lot of people's attention so that they would listen to some of the ideas that I was trying to express. What I didn't anticipate was the rumor campaign, the lies and the confusion that went with it. I guess when you write a record called Antichrist Superstar, you know you're not going to make too many friends.
I think he's bloody awful. I think he's awful. Well, what are you getting on? I mean, yeah, you can be different and all that, yeah, but all this satanic crap. I'm sorry, don't give me all that devil rubbish, man. It's just like, yeah, rubbish. Go back to the graveyard where you come from.
I was starting to be a fan of his, and then I heard him, like, disrespect, God, and I can't really get down with nothing like that. No matter even if it's, like, something for theatrics, he just don't exist, man. Once you disrespect God, you really stepped over the line, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I think it was disrespectful of God. If you are somebody who believes in God. Like when all those Christian people kept him out of town, it really wasn't very Christian of them. You can't just say, he's a nice guy, he's a crazy guy, he's a mean guy, he's a Satanist guy, He's all of these things.
I feel like we may have lost a few battles last year, but overall we won the war, and I think that we made an important stance just for rock music.
I think everything goes in circles, and I think pop music could be back.